guys, welcome back again to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how I made that dress which I showed at the beginning of my video for a 10 years old girl. So what I'm having here today is an ankara fabric. So this is the lace for the front and this is for the gather for the bottom of the blouse. So I'm going to start with the back pattern first. I'm going to take out 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. When I finish drawing it out, I will come back. Next thing I'm going to do, this is the back pattern. I'll bring out my zipper allowance. I'm going to place this in front pattern behind the zipper allowance. Then I will start drafting out my measurements. I'm going to pin it so when I start drafting, it will not move, so I can be able to get my right measurements. So I'm going to pin up all the sides. So I finished pinning it. The next thing I'm going to do, I'll start putting my measurements. The way I cut this fabric, I use the highest measurement for the child. The highest measurement was the waist measurement, which was 29, plus 1.5 inch for zipper allowance, plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. In total them all together was not 31.5, and I divided to 31.5 by 4 and I got 7.9. So I now round it up to 8 inches. Then I now had 5 inches to it, so which was 13 inches. So I fold my material by 13 inches, so I can be able to have a lot of material. So the next thing I'm going to do here now, the first thing I'm going to start putting my shoulder to shoulder measurement. For the child, the shoulder to shoulder measurement is 13.5. Divide by 2, I get 6.5, plus half inch for sewing allowance, I get 7 inches. So I'm going to draw out 7 inches straight down here. So I've drawn out my shoulder measurement. The next thing I'll do, I'll draw out my neck width. My neck width I'll be using for this measurement is 2.5. So I'll go in like this. I measure 2.5 here. Then the neck depth will be 3 inches. Plus half an inch for sewing allowance gives me 3.5. So I'll go here like this. I put in 3.5. Please remember, all my drafting is behind the zipper line because I've attached the front and the back together. So the next thing here I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out my neckline out. So at the shoulder end here, I'm going to bring it down by 1 inch. So I'll go here like this. I'll bring it down by 1 inch. Then I'll connect my neck width to my shoulder slope. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put in the armhole at this point. My armhole for this child is 15. 15 divided by 2 gives me 7.5, plus half an inch for sewing allowance gives me 8 inches. So I'm going to go here like this and put in 8 inches from here to this place. So I'll mark out 8 inches. Next thing I'm going to do, I've drawn out my armhole, which is 8 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my chest round measurement. Chest round measurement for this child is 28 plus 2 inches, which is 1 inch for sewing allowance and 1 inch for ease of movement, gives me 30. So I'm going to divide that 30 by 4, which gives me 8 inches. So I'm going to draw out 8 inches from there to this place. So I'm going to mark out 8 inches. Behind the zipper line, you measure out the 8 inches, which I've done. Draw it out. So I'm going to add 1 inch here for extra sewing allowance. I always like to have allowance in my dressmaking. It's better to have allowance than not to have allowance. You can always trim it off. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the shoulder to the waist, the natural waist for the child. So what I have here from shoulder to waist is 14 inches plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, give me 15 inches. So I'll go here on top of this neck, then I'll measure at 15 inches. So what I have here is 15 inches. So I'm going to rule it out. The next thing, I've already drawn out my waist measurement for the child. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put in my round measurement for the waist. My round measurement for the waist is 29 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance and plus 1 inch for ease, gives me 30. So I'm going to divide it by 4. I get 7 inches. So I'm going to add extra 1 inches for sewing allowance. I can always trim that off if I want to, just to be on the safer side. So I'll go here like this. I'll add my 7 inches for the waist. Remember, I left 1 inch here for sewing allowance. So I also remember I wanted to leave half an inch here for my waist allowance. So I'm going to make my waist allowance to be 1 inch. So I'm going to connect the 1 inch waist sewing allowance to add to the waist allowance here, so both of them will be equal. So I'll just go here like this and add and connect the dots together like so. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to trace out the shape so I can have more time for the back. So I'm going to start cutting from here like this. I'll just follow the drawings and cut through. So I've trimmed out the shape. So for the back, what I tend to do for the back, you know, my neck depth was 3 inches, so I'm going to bring my back neck depth more down to be 4 inches. Then I'm going to mark out the spot of the 3 inches for the neck at the back. I'm going to lift it up like this and mark it out so I can be able to know where to connect my back neckline. Then my back here, I'll bring it up like this to connect it to be 4.5 inches. I'm going to make the back to be round deep neck for this child, so I'll make it 4.5 as well. I'll mark it 4.5. So I'm going to connect the dot here to that dot. So I'm going to make it a V blouse at the back. Just the same way I cut the front pattern, do the same thing for the back. Simply place the lace on top of this material and follow the shape. The sleeve is, the length is before the elbow. The length is 8 inches plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, make it 9 inches. While the bicep, that is a round around the elbow, no, round before the elbow, was 13 inches. So if you divide that one by 2, it gives me 6.5 plus half an inch for sewing allowance, give me 7 inches. That's what I use here. I have a video on how to draft your sleeve. The same pattern I used for that one, use the same here as well. Now we go to the bottom of the skirt. Remember, the blouse from the neck to the waist was 14 inches plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, make it 15. So from the waist to after the knee for the child, the measurement I will be using is 24 for the length plus 1 inch for sewing allowance at the bottom. I make it 25. 25. I'm going to be gathering this skirt. It's going to be a gather skirt. So remember, the waist of the measurement for the child was 29. So I'm going to double it. 29 plus 29 gives me 58. So I'm going to cut one piece by 58, and I'm going to, the second piece, I'm going to cut it 60, because I'll use that 2 inches for my zipper allowance, where I'm going to join the zip to the blouse, zip at the back for the child. So just the same way I cut this on that skirt, I also cut the lining the same way as well. So this is the lining I'll be using under the skirt to make it more fuller. So I'll cut it the same way I did the skirt. Remember, the length was 25, then the waist was 29. I double it into 2, getting 58. So I'll do this, which I've already done here. Let me open it quickly for you to see. I've already done it as well. Length from here to here is 25. Plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I'll take half an inch for sewing allowance and half an inch here as well to join the skirt to the blouse. So everything will be 25 inches. So I double it. It's gonna be 58. While the second one is 58, but I had 2 inches to it for zip allowance. This one is 60. So just the same way I cut this, I'll do the same way for this as well. So please, if you like this, please don't forget to subscribe, share my video, and give my video a thumbs up. On my next video, I'll show you how I put these pieces together. So bye for now. One love and one peace. Bye.